DJ SurfZilla.
Yizzo. Check. All right, we have a wonderful guest on today's episode of the SurfZilla podcast. She is a graphic designer. She's the CEO of Panoptic Media Solutions, a singer and independent music artist, and a model, and probably wears many, many, many more hats. We give you the illustrious Courtney Huntzinger.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Pew, pew, pew. So, Courtney, how are you, first of all?
I am good. How are you?
I'm awesome. So, tell us about Panoptic Media Solutions.
It was weird because it really started as something that we just did naturally, we being me and my business partner, and all of a sudden one day we were like, this kind of needs a name. Like this can be bigger than just, us working out of my bedroom after our day jobs, like, you know what I mean? So we ended up LLCing it and just set it up, kind of grassroots. Really didn't have to put any money into it. It was really low overhead, and it just kind of depended on us building our network and putting a lot of hours into it. But now we're starting to focus on bringing in other artists that can, work on projects with us and sourcing out different roles or different tasks so that we can kind of bring the money into local talent and people that might not be able to get, find corporate jobs and don't have the schedule or the time for that. So
that sounds awesome. That sounds like it's pretty beneficial for the up and coming artists. Do you have criteria for who gets in with you guys, or
No, I mean, most of the time it's local businesses, independent artists. We're getting more established clients now that are ongoing. But basically we've done everything from, rock bands and rappers to online clothing stores to, waxing boutique logos. I mean, it's pretty much all over the board, but it's really people in Philly, New York, New Jersey, that kind of area. And a lot of businesses is who we really try to go to, like entrepreneurs, feed that entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that's definitely the feel. That's awesome. So how do you juggle the music and the fashion? Because I know seems like that's pop culture now. Like music and fashion have always been intertwined, I guess. Mm-hmm. So how do you navigate both of those waters? Do you have a music agent and a fashion agent, or are they all
So my manager that I saw, R.I.P. Steve Phillips, he was the most awesome dude in the whole world. But I started out with him modeling, and then I kind of got the kahunas to be this is what I really want to do is music. But I still do all of that. But after he passed away, I've just became kind of more independent, getting gigs on different platforms, kind of using my existing connections, and kind of just trying to make those moves for myself and keep it going. So I definitely still take modeling gigs, but my focus is on, because right now all I have is a single out for the music, so my focus is on getting my EP back to where it needs to be and getting that out to follow up. But as far as balancing everything, I feel there's such a focus nowadays on image to the point where the quality of your music isn't even as important as what you look like or the vibe, that kind of, how lit you are, whatever. And it's just, I really try and make sure that my music is perfect, and it's where I want to be, so that I can actually be known for, hey, she's good, and not just she's just another girl that's on stage in a dress, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, one of my former guests, she had wrote an article about sexism in the music industry, and how it's basically if you're a female, it's kind of there's a certain wave you got to be on to get to certain, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, image is really important. Like, whenever you're probably too young to remember when music videos were like a thing. Actually on
MTV.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little bit older, and I can remember like back in the day when like a produced music video was like a big thing. Like people, like the higher end people actually had like movie producers producing their music videos because image was like everything. Like, and now I guess it's still kind of the same thing, but I think more so back then the talent kind of backed it up. Whereas so now, like, your image can supersede like actual talent,
like your Instagram profile can supersede like
right. And then it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. Like, it's good if you're not talented and you want to be lit and people are like, yo, she's lit, but she's not. Because I always say, like, the average person cannot really differentiate between real talent and not talent. Yeah. But the average person can perceive what's lit and what's hype and what's energetic.
Right.
Yeah. So like if you have an energy that people gravitate to, you know what I'm saying, like they'll be on board. Having talent is great. I mean, obviously we're musical people. We want to, be musical. But yeah.
But it's like, it's all about personality and like how you carry yourself. And I don't know. That's why I feel like it's really important to be able to talk to all different types of people and like vibe with all different types of people. And I think honestly, just that I really love all different types of music except for country. Sorry. But,
oh my goodness.
But,
country's awesome.
I think that's important. I mean, there's some exceptions.
Yeah. I think for me, I've been a musician my entire life. I come from a family of musicians, generations upon generations of musicians. So like I've learned to appreciate all types of music. I can't say there's a style of music that I don't like. I don't particularly care for a lot of music, but I learned to appreciate country for some reason. Like because you actually have to have writing. Yeah, you actually have to have writing skills to be like a successful country artist.
Yeah,
because they're not just like every song. There's like 6 verses to the songs. Yeah, and they're telling the story and painting pictures and stuff like that. So
even though that's not really my vibe at all, I think I learned a lot from writing by breaking down like old first when she came out Taylor Swift songs.
Oh yeah.
As much as I'm more influenced by like Lauryn Hill's writing or Jhené Aiko's flow, that kind of thing. But I just it was still just like different like pattern stuff she used. I was like, that's clever, like
yeah. And I think what makes her so successful, like you said, she writes her own stuff.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like Beyonce, she has a couple hits that she's written, but like Taylor Swift, like her claim to fame was like her writing. So like she's getting all those credits, those writers' credits, and then obviously performing or whatever. And then you have like Rihanna, who has like a team of 60 writers. So like of course she has a bunch of hits because she has all this content, all this paid writers for her. So it's like if a song makes it to the album, it's like it has to almost guarantee to be hot because.
And honestly, anything that Rihanna does is like fire. Like
it has to be
exactly
when you have that much support. Yeah. Like imagine if you had 60 people dedicated to writing for you. And
I always wondered how much money she ends up getting from songs because it's like I know she does have large teams.
She probably still gets a lot because I mean at the end of the day she's the artist. But like you said, it's a team, so like I'm pretty sure they get broke off something nice because I know my boys, they wrote a song. It was like on a gospel record, and I know they split a check for like $50,000 for like a B-side track.
Damn.
Right. So I'm like. Imagine a record that's going like platinum and double platinum. Like,
is this before the emphasis on streams time?
Or yeah, this is like before recently? Streams. Gotcha, this was like 10 years ago.
I feel like that's done less for the artist. Like
yeah.
Because, I mean, certain stuff like YouTube and stuff, like, they pay you after a certain amount of views or something like that. But it's like, I don't think it's the same as having to pay for and download a song. Like, I can't.
Right.
You know.
I think the whole stream thing now is even worse than back in the day as far as the payouts. Because that's the one thing that I've been discussing too with a lot of my musician friends. The streaming, because you can get, depending on what you're going, like if you're with Tidal or if you're with Spotify or whatever, they're all different. So like depending on who you're with, you might be getting like a half a cent per stream.
Right.
So like you have to get like 1 million streams to make like $100.
And that's why I feel like we initially, my business partner and I had kind of decided to go to Sony Orchard and, you know, get a white label through them and distribute through them, because I feel like after not knowing so much about like the legal end of things and royalties and like just the BMI and the ASCAP and all that, I just feel like I would have loved to have somebody kind of sit down and explain all of that to me. So I felt like having artists and being able to do that for them was like a big goal of ours for the distribution. We just ended up kind of going more in emphasizing more of our graphic and web design services, because people kind of are gravitating towards that right now, just having their own logo and the promotion and digital marketing and websites.
Wow. So you design logos and stuff too?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, you know, I do all like the brand style guide, kind of just like, you know, create somebody's brand identity. But then I have a lot of people who just want to rebrand and kind of get more modern, or businesses that have been around for 10 years, but they don't have a website. Like, or you look them up on Google, but they're not there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to, you know, not to take a political turn and sound like anti-capitalist, but just putting, you know, that like it's important for entrepreneurs to invest in themselves and make themselves, like, represent themselves in a way that's like neat, professional, and efficient, because it makes like all the difference to customers. You know?
Man, if I had one of those pew pew pew, I would just put one in there. Yeah, that's so true. That was like the theme of like my last sessions was like investing in yourself. Like a lot of artists, they say they want to go where, they say they want to go places, they say, but like nobody's trying to invest in themselves. And I guess there's this myth that, you know, you just walk up to a label company and they just give you $1 million and then, you know, you're riding off into the sunset. Like, that's not how it works.
I mean, like, I feel like people want to go and they can go blow up a couple $100s at the strip club, but they won't spend a couple $100s to like get their website done, or you know, go get a bottle of Henny, but they can't like put $50 towards, you know,
a studio session,
right? Or like a paid Instagram ad or something to promote their album, because it's like it's all the difference. People aren't really gonna just, I mean, even, you know, I have a ton of friends, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna be like a word of mouth, and I'm just gonna grow, and I'm just, you know, and even if you're great, you know,
friends are great, fans are better.
Yes, that's
like
different.
Yeah, it's a difference,
because it's their job to, you know, bring you
exactly like friends. And I always see posts on Facebook on stuff that people are like, oh, support. Why don't people support? Oh, I thought I had friends. They'll go buy, you know, Eminem's album, but they won't buy mine. I'm just like, dude, you can't depend on friends.
Yeah, that's like that thing with Beyonce. It was like people reposted and were more hyped for Beyonce when she got pregnant than like their own sisters.
Exactly.
Damn.
I'm just like, first of all, you're not Beyonce. Number one. Number two, like, you got to understand, this is a fan reaction. When you have fans, you get fan reactions. Family, well, it's funny, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had my own sister will pay to see, you know, Corey Henry perform, and like, when I performed out, she wouldn't come, and I'm like, what's up with that? And she's like, oh, I see you all the time. I'm like, what? Like, that's not the same thing. Like, but I understand, support. Like, because she's a fan. So it's like, I get it. Like, you're a fan. When you're a fan, you'll spend money, you'll invest into whatever drives your fandom.
Yeah.
But people are so hype about family and not more hype about getting actual fans and doing the work to cultivate that fan base, like mailing lists and paid advertising and all that stuff like that. Like it's work.